Hi, it's been a while since I last recorded and posted a video, but today I felt I needed to share with you something that I've encountered in the past few workshops that I conducted for young managers, young leaders. Last year I wrote an article for millennials. Millennials, why moving up fast isn't always a great idea. And in those workshops, I saw firsthand again how moving up fast isn't always a great idea. And I'll tell you more about that. I liked how Marshall Goldsmith put it. He mentioned that what got you here won't get you there. And it's so true with the managers who are now leading the organizations that we have right now, especially in our era. It's similar to diving and similar to climbing mountains. I'm not an expert, but I've read so far, and I have friends who do these things. And one thing that is common is that you need to phase your climb, your ascent, or your descent whenever you're diving, and because your body needs to acclimatize, or at least adjust to the existing environment before it can again rise up, because the pressure and all the other elements really change as you change the environment. Similarly with organizations, when we move up the ladder, we become managers, there are a lot of things that become different, and most of them are does not relate to what we were doing in the past. You may be good at programming, you may be good at selling, doing marketing in our own terms. But then when you move up the ladder, it becomes different. You're now tasked to do all the same things, achieve the objectives, but not through yourself anymore, but through others. And with the things happening, our generation right now, it's all about speed, getting there fast, getting there first. But there's also beauty in eventually taking your time and preparing yourself for the next big thing. Now, here are the 3 tips. Number 1, nurture your relationships while you're where you are, especially if you're in the rank and file or in your middle manager position. Now, one thing's for sure, it becomes harder and harder to develop meaningful and authentic relationships as you go up the ladder. People become, or a lot of managers become, too busy eventually taking care of their teams, and also eventually also reporting and so on. It becomes, you're in charge of so many things. You're responsible. All of a sudden, you become responsible to so many things. So you have lesser time eventually to, develop meaningful and authentic relationships. So while you're there, nurture your connections, nurture your relationships. You would need those relationships as you go up the ladder. Second, grow your emotional muscles, and I cannot stress this enough. For leaders, aspiring leaders, current leaders, you need to develop your emotional muscles. As you move up the ladder, the pressure becomes more intense in terms of relationships between people, and a lot of those entail emotional intelligence, emotional quotient on your end. So grow your emotional muscles while you still have time. And then third, learn about culture. Most leaders and managers don't eventually learn this the hard way, that they don't try to understand how culture works, how it can be developed, and most especially how culture can eventually lead or help you into getting the success or the win that you want for your team. So while you're still there waiting for your next role, I suggest that you dwell and delve into learning about how culture works, how to develop it, how to nurture it, and how your existing company culture is. While you're still there, while you're still in your current positions, I'd like to encourage you again to, number 1, nurture your connections, nurture authentic, meaningful relationships, connections while you still can. Number 2, you grow your emotional muscles. And number 3, It's to learn how to develop, to nurture, and how culture works in general. So there you go. I hope that would also help those who are still, waiting in line, and also who are already there and wants to probably be better at leading and eventually get to the next level. Thank you, and see you again soon.